All right, so we are back for another video, kind of getting consistent with these things. Anyway, so today I'll be breaking down this sample I made. Probably saw it on IG if you follow me on there at Vertex. It's kind of like Daniel Caesar type of vibe, Brent Faiyaz, SZA, alternative R&B kind of things. All right, so I'm going to be breaking down the sample in the order in which I recorded every element. And first things first, we have this little percussive section. It's just me hitting on my guitar, kind of like some drums. And for the effects, we have Bruce Free to remove the background noise. And then we have this saturator / distortion plugin called IVGI2 with the leather. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with it, but you can get it and experiment with it since I'm also learning. And then next we have this plugin, but I'm going to talk about it later because it's so good. And then we have TDR Nova, which is just an EQ to remove the lows because I don't want it to clash with the other elements of the sample. And then next we have the guitar. Here's how it sounds solo. Alright, so now I'm going to be breaking down the theory. If you're not interested, you know what to do. You can just skip to the timestamp I'm going to put somewhere below. And then, yeah, let's get into it. First, we are in the key of E minor. And the first chord we have here is a 6, which is a C major 7, which goes to the 5, which is a B minor 7. And then after that, we go to the 4, which is an A minor 7. And then we go back up to the 5. That means this is a 4, 5. And then we have the 1 over here. But then the 5 is a bit different here because I used a dominant chord. And then this is just a simple E minor. So to summarize everything, we have a 6, which goes to a 5, and then a 4, and then another 5, but this time it's dominant instead of minor 7, and then goes back to the 1, which is just an E minor, nothing too fancy there. And then it's the same thing for the next section, but with a different rhythm. So the difference is here. Yeah, you get it. So for the effects, so before using these effects, I went to FL because I recorded this in Ableton but sent it to FL, and then used these plugins to remove the noise and kind of make the guitar bright. So we have the Bruce Free right here, and then OTT because sometimes Bruce Free can remove some harmonics when it's removing the noise. So I use OTT to kind of like lift up those harmonics that have been lost. And then we have a multi-band compressor. This will just make it a little bit brighter by increasing the gain here. If you watch my tutorial on how to process guitar, I pretty much use it all the time. And then I disable these two because I'll be using the reverbs from Ableton. In Ableton. And then we have the same saturation plugin, which sounds like this when we disable everything else. And then we have Convology XT, which is a fire reverb plugin. I'm actually surprised that it's free, kind of like a room reverb. It's like the best. Remember that technique from Ty's video? Yeah, throw it out the window. Alright, so this is how it sounds without the reverb. And this is with the reverb. And the preset I use is like a multi-long room. So it's kind of like what it says, a long room. And then we have TDR Nova, which is just the same EQ to remove the lows. Alright, so here's how the vocals sound without any effects. Pretty much the same plugin chain, Brush Free, IVG saturation thingy, and then this time the difference is I have a little bit of Valhalla reverb little altar boy just to increase the formant a little bit. Didn't touch anything else. And then we have the same room plugin, and here's how it sounds with the room plugin on it. After that we have the guitar, and for the processing we have Bruce Free for the noise removal. And then after that we have Tone Lib, which is kind of like guitar rig, and the preset I used was Split It Clean, just for that clean R&B feel. And then we have OTT, once again, like I use it all the time. Then we have Valhalla, the default reverb. I just played with the delay and the warping, like just mess around with the sounds like this. It's pretty much the same chords. Alright, and then we have the bass from Contact Rickenbacker bass. It's not loaded right now because it was acting up, so I just exported the audio. But for the processing, I'm gonna try to remember off the top of my head. So I had OTT for sure, and then after that I used some reverb and an EQ just to cut out the highs. So it sounds like this now. And then after that we have Podolsky, some chords that I played. Here's how it sounds. And then for the presets I use Cloud City keys under the keys in the local bank. And then for the processing we have the same plugin. IVG for saturation, Convology for that room echo filling, and then we have Tal Chorus LX, which is a free plugin by the way. It's really good because it's kind of like makes your sound a little bit bigger, a little bit more lush. It's very good for pads and electric pianos. After that we have some Valhalla reverb, still at default settings, and then after that we have some electric guitar chords, which is kind of like the climax of the sample, which goes really well with this Podolsky section. So I'm gonna play it together. Yeah, as you can see, that's pretty much the sample, and then I removed some elements and brought back some in just to make the sample kind of interesting. So I removed this percussive section and then brought it back halfway the Podolsky section, and then I removed the Podolsky later on. So that's pretty much it for the sample. Really simple, nothing complicated, not too many elements playing at the same time. And yeah, I'll be seeing you in the next video, and that's it.